And we are back. It's another outstanding episode of the Square Table Degenerates. Today we welcome to the show competitive eater Mr. Geoff Esper. How are you today, my friend?
How you doing? Doing good.
I'm doing good, man. It's warmed up today. It's it's a relative term, I guess. But man, when it's -5, 36 feels like 80, right?
I think it got up to 27 here.
Okay. So you're calling us from the great state of Massachusetts, I'm assuming, right?
Yep.
Okay, and the Commonwealth, as they say. So you were born in 70s Massachusetts. Now I was trying to calculate stuff. Like, were you born right in the middle of like Pudge Fisk getting a home run in 1975, or what were your parents doing during the 75 World Series?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Well, what did your parents do for a living? How did they? What's your origin story?
My father was a civil engineer, and my mother she just did like odd jobs and like cashiers and stuff like that.
Okay. How many brothers and sisters you got?
One sister.
Okay. She older or younger?
She's 4 years older.
Okay. Good deal. What like when you was little, were you a sports fan growing up, or
No, we never really much into sports. My dad wasn't into sports, so I played sports. I played baseball, and I go over my friend's house, play basketball and football and stuff like that. But I never watched it on TV or anything.
Okay. So when you was young and coming up, were you like? I mean, I know you're a science teacher now. Or did you have like science kits and chemistry sets and all that, or what were you doing for free time?
Yeah, I did. I had the best chemistry set you could probably imagine. I probably can't talk about it, but I used to do like a lot of weightlifting and powerlifting and play a lot of sports and stuff as well. So it wasn't like a little nerdy kid. I was kind of like I think when I graduated high school, I probably was one of the strongest kids in the school.
Okay, so you were just into lifting and just getting in fitness and all that. Did that spur like your interest in science? I mean, how did you end up doing that?
No, I was just into both. Yeah, I was just always into both.
Okay. So were you music back then? Were you like rocking with some of the Aerosmith? Aerosmith's big back from Boston. How far are you from Boston? Let me ask you that.
I live in central Massachusetts, so I'm like it's like 50 miles from Boston.
Okay. I drove up and saw my buddy. He was in Worcester.
Yeah, right outside of Worcester. That's right.
And then we drove through Boston just because I wanted to say I went there, and I took the Ted Williams Tunnel just because I wanted to. I was like those documentaries on the History Channel, about the big bundle.
Yeah,
the
money wasting. It's horrible to drive through Boston.
There's no place to park. I mean, it's weird because like I've been to most of the East Coast cities, and like New York and Boston are probably the two worst, and Boston's probably worse than New York when it comes to just being able to park or do anything. I mean, you just drive and there's roads, and the rest of it's walking stuff. I mean, you can't really do much.
Yeah, well, there's no planning involved in Boston. There was about cow paths that became small roads. It became bigger roads.
Yeah, for those who don't know what the phrase "till the cows come home," that came from Boston Common. They would like let all the cows out. When the cows came home, that was when it over. They would walk on Boston Common back to the farms and all that.
Yeah.
None of us were alive for that, man. You're talking 1600s probably. All right, so what now I know. Well, see, I had a bunch of sports questions here, but you're a Red Sox fan. Do you remember the '86 series of Mets and Sox?
No, I didn't. I mean, I've seen a couple of the games at the Fenway and there, stuff like that. When I remember my uncle used to bring me, but I was mostly probably interested in eating the popcorn and hot dogs and stuff.
Yeah, I was big in sports back then. I mean, I remember that '86 World Series really vividly. I love that Mets team. I'm an Indians fan, but like
Bill Buckner. That's probably the only thing I really remember, the Bill Buckner thing.
Right through the poor guy, right between the legs. Well, it's funny because like you guys at Boston, man, you had that Buckner thing, and you had the losing to the Bears in the Super Bowl 20, like within 10 months of each other. That's rough, but I mean, at least you got there. I mean, it's like the Browns, dude. I mean, I don't even need to go into that, right? Browns and fuck the Indians. I mean, won a World Series since before I was born, right?
Yeah.
So let's see here. What did you, when you were younger coming up, like thinking of careers and shit, was teacher in your mind, or were you kind of like, I could be an astronaut, something could go in there? What was you thinking that you were going to be?
Absolutely not. I did not want to be a teacher. I took the job at a college just for something to do. In the meantime, before I was looking around something else, and before I knew it, I had too many years in, and I said, well, I'm already invested. I might as well just keep going. And yeah, I should have probably put some more thought into that.
Well, well, when you was coming out of high school, you went right to college? You had any thoughts of the military? Did you go to service at all, or?
No, I didn't go in the service. I went right to college. Man, I think before even Thanksgiving of my senior year of high school, I always was accepted and knew where I was going. I was all done.
Okay, where'd you end up going to college?
Clark University, right in Worcester. There.
Oh, okay, right down the street there. Was there any other schools in contention, or it was just right there?
Even applied to another school, I got in and I was all done. Yeah, it was like the easiest college experience ever.
How you got your master's? How did you get your master's right after? Or was that is it because like in Ohio to be a teacher? I think once you get your degree, you got 10 years to get your master's. Is it like that in Massachusetts, or how does that work?
Yeah, you have. Well, I'm a vocational teacher, so actually on the vocational side, you don't have to get a master's. But I did. I just know they had a program there where you could stay an extra year and get your master's, so I did that. And I was actually thinking about going on to get a PhD, but I was burnt out at the time and I stopped. Yeah, and then once you stop, you never go back.
Oh, and people always go out there and say, "Oh, you're never too old to go to college." Yeah, you kind of are. I mean, it's like we're damn near 50, both of us, and it's like there's no reason for us to go back to school. I mean, if somebody was paying for it, maybe, but even then, it's a waste of time for me. I mean, by the time you're our age, you should be advanced in your career to the point where you need to be. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you want to spend your money on a degree at an advanced age, go ahead, go for it. But there's more better ways to invest yourself, I think. I mean, I took a break. Like I didn't go to college until I was I went to some trade school.
Yeah.
And then I was 23 before I even started my bachelor's. I was 28 when I got it. But yeah, after that, I was done with school. There's no way.
Well,
no way it was him.
That's not late though. You're still pretty young at that point.
Yeah, I think any time up until you're 30 is still good. Once you're in your 30s, you got to kind of have your life plan together. Something like that. You know what I mean? What so do you still teach? What do you teach?
I teach electronics at a vocational high school.
Okay, so was that like your degree, like an electronics kind of physics thing, or what was your?
My degree was in physics.
Physics, okay. My dad got that degree in physics too. It was he ended up teaching for a little bit, then he went to boiler inspecting of all random things. Then he went to government work, and then I went to government work. So
yeah, actually, you got a degree. You can do a lot of different things with that, so it really carries over to many different things.
Oh yeah. Well, at what point, how old were you when you first entered any kind of contest or get into this competitive eating stuff? I mean, how does it even cross your mind? I mean, what were you just drunk at the bar one day? I can eat 20 hot dogs too. And
No. I probably about 10 years ago. And I always used to like competitive eating. I used to watch it, 4th of July. I'd watch Kobayashi and all those other guys, that Bob used to have that big thing, on his and all the other guys there. I used to watch them and I used to really like it. And I used to thought I could probably do it, but I never really did anything. Probably maybe 10 years ago, okay. I got into it and I really started to, learn a lot of stuff about it. Of course, it was very hard to find contests and stuff way back, because there was no internet or anything like that. So it was just word of mouth. So once the internet started coming around, it was a lot easier to figure out what things are. And I did one little, I remember it was at a bar. It was a taco eating contest. And they were awful tacos, man. They were disgusting. But there was a professional eater, one professional eater. He went there, he kind of runs this area. He was just gonna clean up. And I kept up with him, and we ended up tying for the whole contest. And he's like, "Where'd you come from?" And I was like, "This is my first contest." He goes, "Bullshit! This is not your first contest. Where'd you come from?" And I said, "Nah, it's my first contest." He was upset because it cost him some money.
That's funny. Yeah, when I was little, I was in high school, and we did a pizza eating contest. And the first is there was 2 times it was up at the church here in Cleveland where I was at St. Ignatius Church. And it was only for kids though. So it was just for kids. And actually the first one wasn't for kids. And the second one, you had to be 18 and under, and I was 18. But the first one, man, the pizza was so hot. I came in it was me and another guy in the eat off, but I had burnt my mouth from eating all the pizza because it was so hot. They literally took it right out of the oven and put it right there. And I remember it was funny because I called off football practice because it was still summer. I was playing football at the time. And they laughed because I literally just said I burnt my mouth in a pizza eating contest. That's a really crazy way to call off. But then when I was 18, we did it again. I won that one, but that was my only foray into. But I was like you, I just went in there and ate. Now, like when you get into this Nathan's all these sponsorships, how do you like train for that? Did you just kind of figure it out, or I mean, what's the deal there?
Yeah, I mean, you have to. There's a lot of training involved because when you're eating, there's a big difference between being able to eat like a whole large pizza by yourself, and then maybe eating like 5 large pizzas by yourself. There's a huge difference. You have to practice and really stretch, and there's not like a book or someone. There's not a whole lot of people you can ask on how to do it, so you have to figure everything out yourself. And yeah, it's really difficult. And I mean, I remember watching. I opened up. There was a history book, and they had a medieval picture of people being tortured, and one of them was the water torture, where they had a funnel in the guy's mouth, and they're pouring water. I was like, yeah, I basically torturing myself every single day to train for this contest.
Reminds me of that one Simpsons when Homer goes to hell and he's just sitting there and the donuts keep coming in on the conveyor belt. I was like,
yeah. It's I remember the first time I had maybe over 10 pounds of liquid inside me. I went to stand up and I almost fell over because my center of gravity was like different. And I was like, wow, this is weird, But yeah, it's crazy. Like the amount of training you have to do. This guys eat, close to 1,000 hot dogs training for Nathan's.
That's insane, man. Fuck. We're going to get into some Nathan's. I got many questions about that. All right, we got a question from Captain in the UK. He says, have you ever watched any of Beard Eats Food videos?
Oh, yeah, I know Beard. I met him lots of times. You ask him if he knows me, he'll definitely say he does, yeah.
Okay. I've heard of Beard Eats Food. I've seen him in the feed. He's really popular. But I don't think Captain showed me a couple of them. I haven't watched him too much, but yeah, he's a pretty good one. And we got one from Funky Uncle John, friend of the show. He says, do you ever want to redo any of your candy bar challenges? 100 Snickers bars, 100 Kit Kats, Tortellones, etc.
I don't know if I'd want to redo any of them. I'd like to do a different one, maybe pick a different one to redo it and do another candy bar challenge. Those are rough.
That's a lot of sugar, man. Fuck, 100 candy bars.
Yeah, it's like
my God. So like, man, we'll get it. I'm fascinated about the aftermath. We'll get into some of it a little bit. I want to talk some Nathan's and we'll talk about the aftermath, like right after the contest. All right. So like prior to going into Nathan's, did you hold any records, food records going into that?
Yeah, I got this. I think I got like 10 or 15 records. I don't know. I know Hooters Chicken Wings is one of them. And there's a couple other ones. It's so weird. Everybody else, you ask them like, what's their records or how many hot dogs did you eat on this day? And they can tell you exactly. I can never remember. Like, I don't know. I don't know how they do it. They're like, oh yeah, that contest, I ate 24 and a half, slices of pizza. Exactly. I'm like, I have no idea. I'm trying to think of some other ones. There's Spam. I got a Spam record, I think. They had these things called, they were like these round pancakes things. What are they called? They were like pancakes. I had a pancake record in those. There's a few others. It's tough to. Oh, pizza. I have a couple of pizza records for sure. Yeah.
Okay. What toppings do you eat pizza regularly? What kind of pizza would you normally get?
I'm usually dieting most of the year, so I don't eat like pizza recreationally.
Okay.
But favorite pizza is just regular plain pizza with extra cheese.
Okay, just cheese. Okay. I don't really have a good pizza. I mean, I usually like the specialty pizzas. You go to the pizza shop and they got a barbecue buffalo bacon chicken pizza, whatever the fuck. I like that kind of stuff. My buddy Lep, he says Spam salty as hell, but yeah, we always go. There's a pizza shop. Well, it's called Dina's down by us, and we always go there they got a pizza of the month, like spaghetti pizza, pierogi pizza, shit like that.
The mom and pop places always have the best pizza.
Oh, it's good, right? Oh, it's not even close.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say out of all the foods, pizza is probably the best out of mom and pops, man. You get a good pizza. There's this pizza group, man. They call it like Pizza Fanatics or some shit. And they're always showing I get invited to it a couple times a year, and it's like I can't join it because I would just be fucking 300 pounds. The pictures look so good. Oh my gosh. All right, so what was your first year at the Nathan's?
My very first year? Oh, that was probably that was 7 years ago. Yeah, because I think that had to be 7 because I missed 1 year, COVID year. I missed. Yeah, I think I did 29 that year. It was my first year.
Okay, so what's in your head going out there when you're Nathan's and you got all these cameras and I mean, is it any different than anything you done up until that point? Is that one a little more covered? How's that work?
Oh, it's totally different. It's like total professional production. There's cameras everywhere. The crowd's got to be, tens of thousands of people, 20, 30,000 people. There's, you can see the buildings. There's people on top of the building. As far as you can see, there's people. It's so loud. It's professional TV production. You got like real TV cameras and real producers in there and stuff like that. You got to stand on the X, at a certain time, and it's real stressful. Actually, I like the smaller contests because they're a lot less stressful. That day, just you starts early, you wake up early, and it's tough.
So like the night before, we're gonna get into some gross stuff because I'm a gross guy. The night before, do you like clean your shit out? Supposedly, like I mean, your whole system. Do you like take
you want to be you try not to eat any solid foods like the day before. You want to be empty. You want to have everything out of your system as much as possible. Just because it takes up room, not because you think you're gonna crap yourself or anything like that, but just because it takes up room, and you want as much room as possible. I mean, it's total capacity event. Yeah.
Well, what was your prior? You say you had 29 and a half the first year. What was your prior to that? Was that the most you've had in that 10 minutes or whatever it is? Or what was your?
Yeah. So my qualifier, I think I did almost exactly the same number at my qualifier that year. Yeah, to qualify to go.
Okay. What was your? Let's see. What's your personal high now for the hot dogs?
53.
Wow. So many hot dogs. Let me ask this question too. I mean, I was looking back to the records of Nathan. It goes back to the 90s. And it looked like right around the year 2000 is when it went from like 26 hot dogs, people were into like 50. And then it got to like incomprehensible levels. Like what happened right there to make this happen?
That was the year that Kobayashi came in.
Okay.
He kind of figured out how to practice. And so, nobody else was really practicing. They just some big eaters that would just go to the contest. He came prepared, and he did his 50. Now, back then, too, the contest was 12 minutes. Now it's only 10.
Okay.
We had a little extra time as well. But, yeah, he's figured it out, like, this is what you have to do to be able to eat a lot. And then so he kind of ruled it for a couple of years. And then Joey came along, and Joey said, I know how to do this, too. And then so it kind of battled back and forth between them. And then Jody kind of pushed ahead, and Kobayashi kind of fell behind and fell out of it. So
it was weird too, because like for so many years, and this is weird seeing as an American, but there was a couple of years there I was rooting for Kobayashi. He was such a likable guy. I mean, what have you? Does he speak? I mean, forgive me for asking silly questions, but I mean, I'm assuming by now he pretty speaks good English. I mean, have you ever hung out with him? Is he a nice guy? What's the deal there?
I've never met Kobayashi. He's one of the few people I've never met. And as far as you know, he does not speak very good English.
Okay, that's crazy. Yeah, because we tried the hot dogs. We did a hot dog. It was our 8th show. We did it right here in the garage, and we did the same rules, with Nathan's. Me and Pat, my buddy Pat did. He did 9. I did 13.
How'd you like that?
And dude, it was horrible because like I don't do the reversal thing. I don't know how to yak. So it's like all them hot dogs went through me, man. I gained 7 pounds. And next day in the toilet, man. I don't want to get nasty, but I mean, you're talking 3-4 times flush. It was bad, bro. So like I got to get into some reversal stuff here. Like, so say you're done with the contest, right? How long after that do you just, go into the bucket, puke it up or whatever? And like, is it forced? Or do you, do the bulimic style? What's the deal there?
Different people do different things. You're very uncomfortable after the contest. I mean, you just ate, 10 pounds of hot dogs and how many, quarts of liquid. But you have to go in the back room there and you have to wait around, and then there's a bus ride back to the hotel. So even if you have to hold on to it for a couple hours, even if you want.
Wow. No shit. Wow. Has anybody ever like prematurely yacked like on a?
Oh yeah. You go into the porta potties near the area there, and then there's some hot dogs in the porta potties for sure. Some people that just don't have any choice, it's coming out.
well, it's like, is there like an official rule to where you have to have it down for so long, or is it
not on the stage?
So as long as you keep it up on the stage, you're good. And then after that, anything goes. Okay.
No one's watching you. What happens afterwards there, but if you do well at the contest, though, you got to do interviews and stuff. Like Joey he doesn't leave the stage for an hour after the contest. He's on stage the whole time doing interview after interview, you know, meeting people, meet and greets. And so you have to, I mean, if you train yourself to get rid of it as soon as it's in there, you're going to have troubles on stage. Yeah. So you really have to be able to hold on to it, or never get rid of it, you know? Yeah.
Well, how do you even train for something like, I mean, like say Nathan's was next week. What is your week consist of? Are you eating 20 dogs a day, getting ready, used to it? I mean, what's up with that?
Well, I'd get ready months ahead of time. I start getting ready. I do hot dog practice runs. Exactly right.
Okay.
Yeah. So you set it up, you put exact same conditions as a contest, get, you know, 50, whatever hot dogs you want to eat on the table, and set the timer and go at it. Yeah.
It sounds so ridiculous, but it's funny. Huh? I mean, if you practice football, what are you gonna do? You go out and do football motions. If you practice eating hot dogs, you know, what are you gonna do? You're gonna eat hot dogs. That's great.
That's only the food practice. I mean, every day you got to try your capacity too, because if you can't fit them in there, it doesn't matter how fast you are.
Well, does your stomach? I mean, obviously it does expand, but I mean, like right now. I mean, I'm assuming you're, you know, whatever. I mean, does it just normally get big like a balloon? I mean, is there a noticeable gut when you walk off the stage? I mean, what's?
Oh yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, like I'm pregnant. Yeah. I got a couple of YouTube videos where I drink. Well, there's one where I drink 3 gallons of eggnog. It's less than 10 minutes. I drink it, you know. So it's not going anywhere. It's in my stomach. There's no time for it to go anywhere.
Eggnog. I used to drink eggnog a while ago. Man, it's expensive now. Eggs are just little out there, man.
Yeah.
My goodness. All right, now I looked up your record on this, and tell me if I'm wrong, but it says you have finished second place 4 years in a row in the hot dog contest.
I can't win it. Second place.
It's like the Buffalo Bills of the hot dog eating contest. What the last joke I had was about the Bills, but the Bills already lost, so I can't predict a Bills Super Bowl. But I mean, what do you think this year? You think you got? I mean, obviously in your head you want to win. I mean, do you think you got a good shot this year? I mean, do you think you push it over?
If Joey comes back this year, no, I don't have any shot. If he's not there again this year, I'm gonna train hard. Yeah, because last year, I can say I only had one good practice run before the contest. All the other practice runs were just bad, and right before the contest I hit it, and I hit a good practice run, and then so I think this year going in, it's tough to know if Joey's going to be there, you know, because he can hit 70. He just did a hot dog thing with Kobayashi, you know, a couple of months ago where he did like 87 hot dogs. They were a little bit different hot dogs, but 87, you know, I couldn't eat 87. He gave me an hour.
There's no way. Well, after 13, I was pretty much done. I mean, I was forcing them things in. It's fuck. There's no way. All right, we got a question from Angie. She says, bun or no bun, or do you wet the bun? I think you have to have a bun, right?
Yeah, so I was kind of I'm kind of playing around. Right now, everybody does it the same way. They grab, most people, they grab 2 hot dogs, they eat them, they take a bun, dunk it, eat it, bun, dunk it, and they repeat that over and over again. I'm not convinced that that's the best way, but that's the way most people do it because that's the way Kobayashi did it, and then Joey did it, so everybody just copies. Joey just did that contest where he didn't dunk. He ate 87 hot dogs without dunking. So I don't know. I think there's probably another way, but yeah, I have dunked in soggy buns.
Okay. We got a question from Dave. He says, when was the last time you went to a Hooters?
Oh man, it's been a while. Last time I went was shortly after I did the contest. I won the Hooters contest. I think it was in Utah, and I broke the record. I got the record for most Hooters wings, and I went there, and the owner of that Hooters was at the contest. He recognized me, so I got to take a picture with all the girls, and I got my meal and stuff for free. It was a fun time. It's been a while.
Damn,
I got surfboards for they gave me the trophies with these big surfboards.
Well, the Hooters is closing all over the place. We used to have 3 here in Cleveland. We used to have one downtown, one in Menor, one in Parma. They're all gone now.
Yeah.
There's Hooters now, I think it's Columbus or Michigan. I don't know. It's ridiculous. But since we're touching on the wings, this is like, are these standard chicken wings? Are they like boneless? Is there like a certain percentage of the meat has to be gone? What's up with that?
So the Hooters contest is kind of unique where they only have flats. That's it. But all the other contests is flats and drums, and no, there's always bones. I never had a boneless wing contest.
Well, when you're eating the wings, I mean, wings are a little more dangerous than hot dogs. Hot dogs eat everything. It goes on the gullet. You got that bone in there. Do you just like, I mean, what's the style?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah. You
that.
try to pull the meat off in one motion if you can. Yeah.
Now, do they when they got the plate of bones there? Is it a certain percentage of the wing needs to be gone for it to count, or?
No, so what they do is they weigh them before and after, and they subtract, and the amount of meat you ate is what you get credited with.
Oh, okay, okay. Anything like that. That's good. Okay. Let's see here. I had a line that says competitive eating is as close to making pornography as guys can get. The more gross the action, the more views and money. Would you agree with that? I mean, it's kind of like that, right?
Yeah, no, it is messy eating for sure. I did get to go to Japan last year, and I competed in Japan, and they're totally different type of contest. They're long form contests, so their shortest contest was half an hour, and the longest one was an hour. And it's a lot neater eating, but it's just it's capacity contest every time. Yeah.
Wow, half hour, man. That's a long flight too to Japan, right? Fuck.
Yeah.
Was out the 14 hours? What airline did
Yeah,
you fly out there?
like that. It was long. It was a long flight. I think it was like 12 hours. Yeah, but in the last round, I went to the last round. I ate ramen noodles for an hour straight.
my kids would love that, man. That's so much salt. Like, well, that begs the question. Like, how do you balance all that salt, all that sugar randomly with like, do you get regular physicals? I mean, you're a smart guy, so you're not an idiot. I mean, you got keep on top of your health, but like, is there extra stuff you got to do? I mean, what's the deal there?
No, I don't. Tell you the truth, I don't go to the doctor all that often. I get my blood checked, once a year, and that's about it. And I haven't found anything negative side effects from, after you do like a hot dog contest, something the next day you feel bloated. But a couple of days later, you're normal again, and I haven't gotten hurt. I bit my finger, bit my lip. Yeah, I haven't had any health side effects at all. I think all the weightlifting I used to do, I used to hurt myself all the time. I think I've had like 5 surgeries from lifting weights.
So that goes to show you, folks, if you're out there and you want to stay healthy, you got to eat, not lift weights. You get fucked up. All right, Angie wants to know, do you have a specific brand of hot dog that you like, or do you even really eat hot dogs when you're not in the contest?
So the ideal thing would be to be able to get Nathan's hot dogs and practice with the contest hot dogs, but they're very expensive and they're hard to get.
All right.
So I practice with in the off season, I'll practice with like Ballpark. They're pretty cheap, but they taste pretty good still. Don't ever get those what is that really, really cheap brand of hot dogs? The Bar S. Don't ever get those. They're horrible. But then the hot dogs that we use at Nathan's, they have natural casing on them. So you have to get special. And actually, there's Sabretti. You ever hear of those? They have like the carts in New York City. Those are very close to Nathan's, and so I'll practice with those. They're a lot easier to get, and they're not too expensive.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think what I just try to get the beef ones. As long as they're beef, I'm cool with it. I don't eat 20 hot dogs at a time. I'm eating 1 or 2 hot dogs, but yeah, I try to get the beef quarter pounder ones. I don't know specific brand. I mean, they usually the Ballpark brand. I think it's usually I'm at a baseball game or something. I'm getting a hot dog. Yeah. Who knows what it is? I mean, I'm sure it's not Nathan's most of the time because, like you said, Nathan's a little expensive. Good hot dogs though.
They're good. Yeah, the natural casing are the ones to get though. If you want to practice, like do a Nathan style contest, you got to get because they have to snap.
Oh, that begs the question here. Did you have a favorite way you cook them? Boiled, microwave, grilled? What's
flat top grill? That's my favorite.
Okay, I agree. Yeah, hot dogs in the grill. Oh man, I could go for a hot dog right now. Fuck.
I don't mind on a steamed hot dog. I don't mind that either with the steamed buns, but the flat top grill is my favorite.
Right. Okay. I thought I had another question here. Hold on. Dave wants to know if you ever went to IKEA for hot dogs.
No, they sell hot dogs there. Like you mean to buy or they have a cart?
I don't even know. Yeah, Dave, expound on that question. Do they have they sell hot dogs like at Sam's Club or something like that? We don't have an IKEA around here, so I don't know. I've never been to IKEA, so I can answer that question. So are there any records that you have that gross you out, or is there a record you would never do because the food just tasted so bad, ridiculous?
Spam was bad. So basically, this is what they did. It was they had cans of Spam. They opened them up, right. They took them, they dumped them out onto a plate, and then they sat there in the sun for 30 minutes or so before so all the jelly on there turned hard, and it was hot from sitting in the sun. and it smelled just like cat food. You know, it was awful. I have to say, I did leave the Spam by the fence before I left the.
So wait, so they didn't even cook the Spam for you? They just eat eating raw Spam?
Right out of the can, plopped onto a plate. It was gross.
Oh, it's like you're a guy in World War II eating a fucking ration or something. This is horrible. We gotta start talking about hot dogs again because this Spam talk is raw Spam. I mean, just thinking of all that Spam and then thinking about like what it looks by the fence. That's not going to work.
It's like 9. I think I did 9 pounds of Spam.
9 pounds of Spam. Think about that, guys, for a second. 9 pounds of Spam. That's like a newborn baby full of Spam. Fucking hell. That's absolutely gross. Love it. All right, we got a question from Lep. He says, "Do you own a Blackstone griddle?"
Yeah, that's how I cook. I cook the hot dogs on the Blackstone grill.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Lep hooks up a lot of stuff on the Blackstone. He's a cooking channel, well, mostly cooking channel, other stuff, but that's good stuff there. All right, now YouTube. It says you started YouTube around 10 years ago or something like that. Maybe what inspired your YouTube career, and was it around the same time you did competitive eating, or was it before, or what happened there?
It was a little bit afterwards. I started doing that just something to do, something extra, you know, just to see how I could grow the channel. It's not that easy to grow, I found out, but somebody started me out. They were doing my editing for me until I could get doing stuff myself. I'm not that great of an editor, so I just do it for fun. At this point, you know, I just put a video. Actually, I just filmed a video. Actually, there was, oh my God, I think it was 16 times my daily allowance of sodium in the video. So,
fuck, man, it's so much salt. Yeah, I had to cut back a little bit on the salt because my blood pressure was a little high there, but I think it's under control now. But man, I couldn't even imagine some of them. I said them ramen noodles and the ramen noodles and then the Spam, between those two things. I mean, geez, you probably got enough salt for the year till 2038. That's a lot of sodium, brother. Snap.
I drank distilled water just to see if it would help out. I don't know if it did.
All right, in a normal day without, you know, training for this stuff, how many calories do you normally eat?
Depends on my level of activity, but like say moderate activity, definitely under 2,000. So I'm always trying to diet, trying to lose weight whenever I can, because, you know, I can put it on quickly.
Do you like go out and run, or do you just ride a bike, or how do you get cardio in?
Yeah, in the summer I ride bike. I go to the gym. You know, I still go to the gym and lift, not like I used to, but I still do that. And then I do a lot of walking and then ride my bike. I ride my bike to the gym usually in the summertime.
Okay. Angie wants to know, does the competitive eating of bugs interest you?
No.
No.
I can't eat gross stuff. I'm not very good at eating gross stuff or spicy stuff.
Yeah, we was talking about that on John's show before he came on here about the spicy stuff. It's like it's a whole different that's a whole different world, man. It's because I mean, when you're eating a hot dog, you're eating Spam, you yak Spam up, it's no big deal. But if you're eating, you know, a bunch of hot wings or fucking bunch of pocket chips or whatever, and you puke that up, fuck, that's just that's even a worse pain than coming out the backside. I think. I don't know. I've never really puked up hot stuff, but it just sounds like death, man. I don't even.
Awful. I've done a couple of really hot challenges, like the Moab chocolate bar. I don't know if you've heard of that. I've done.
Yeah, I did that. Mother of all bars. Yeah.
Yeah, I've done it, and I think I got the record for eating the fastest. But man, it tastes awful. Like just the chocolate's like, why would you even want to eat this?
Oh, between the gummy and the chocolate and the pocket chip, it's that I'm kind of glad that whole thing went away. I mean, I rest in peace that kid. That's a horrible thing to say, I guess, but like. We were talking about like, why is this stuff even out there? It's so bad. Like, I can see if the pocket chip tasted good. It was like eating cardboard covered in turpentine. It was fucking absolutely disgusting. Like, why is this thing even made?
Yeah, I don't know. They smell bad. They taste bad, and it's just like, why do people? And then there's people out there the chili heads, and they eat like the extract. Like they take the chilies and then they put that on their tongue, and it just doesn't look good to me.
Oh, right. Yeah, like the droppers. Yeah, Phil was doing that with the little droppers of heat. I had that with the weed. That was the weed tincture, but they do that with the hot sauce.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Psychopaths, bro. It's crazy. I made a joke, and I don't know if you being on, I had the wife made 50 pounds of beefaroni.
That's a lot.
We did. All right. It says, Geoff, you know where Rossetti Dry Cleaners was in North Oxford? My son owns the White House right before, he said.
Yeah, I think I do remember where that that dry cleaners was. Yeah. Yeah.
Because Shandog lives in Worcester, so that's good there. All right. Let's see here.
I did go to Coney Island Hot Dogs in Worcester. There's a place called Coney Island Hot Dogs in Worcester there, and I had 50 all the way.
Okay. Now, have you ever? I mean, you said you've been to Japan. What other countries have you been to? The UK at all? What other countries you been to?
No, I just Japan and Canada.
Okay.
There's a poutine contest up in Canada every now and then.
Poutine contest. Wow, great. That's wasn't it fries on gravy, right? French fries on gravy, I think.
Yeah.
Poutine's not too bad. It's not too bad, but they don't really. They get the ketchup chips. They get the weird delicacies in Canada, right? Yeah. Poutine and ketchup potato chips. I don't know what's up with that.
In milk in like a plastic bag.
Yeah, what's up with the milk in a bag? I mean, it seems to be the same amount of plastic that's in those containers. I mean, we use a lot of plastic as a country, and they do, but I don't get the bag thing. I don't know. I'm sure some Canadian will jump in the chat and correct us, but all right. Now I got some silly questions. If you guys got some questions in the chat, drop them. I'm gonna go right into the questions we ask everybody. What kind of dishwashing detergent do you use?
I use Ajax, I think.
Okay, that's the first one. Usually people say Dawn. Ajax is a little cheaper though, so I can focus on Ajax. Angie says they call poutine disco fries in Maryland. Yeah, I've heard of that actually.
I'm here, yeah.
Okay. Dave wants to know your opinion on ice baths.
No, I'm not doing that. I don't see that. I used to do the polar plunge there when I was younger. I didn't see any benefit to it.
Right. Well, I would do it, but it's like, yeah, well, you walk in, walk out. I don't know. I mean, it was every time when it gets below zero, I always do the shirtless picture just to make people laugh. But I'm not going to fall in the snow and freeze my ass off. I mean, there's limits to the suffering I'm going to do. How long could you sit in a library and do nothing before you fell asleep?
I don't know. Probably a long time.
Yeah, it probably depends on how. Oh, that's a good question. Do you? Do you drink? Do you smoke weed? What's your intoxicant thing?
No, you wouldn't. There's the competitive eaters that don't drink. There's quite a few, and then the other half they drink excessively.
Okay, so you got a lot of booze bags in the competitive eating industry, is what you're
talking about. There's you got a bunch of people here with huge stomach capacities now that start drinking. They can get bad pretty quick.
Look at Andre the Giant type stomachs and shit, pounding 20 beers and 30 beers. I used to kill some beers, dude. I did back in the day, man. I would get a case of beer every day. That's a lot of liquid, man. You start peeing all the time. Well, that's a random question, but like, have you ever? I mean, does anybody are there competitive eaters that like pee on stage because you're so much fucking liquid? Or I mean, how's that work?
No, people are usually pretty prepared. I have heard of a couple people that wear a diaper though.
I know we're getting into this gross shit here, but I've tried the diaper thing because I was curious, right? And that thing can't hold a beer piss. It's just not happening. It's meant for like the adult. I mean, they maybe have more absorbent ones, but the one I tried, I think it was probably just used for leaks. You know what I mean? Like
it was for the leaks. I think it was for the other stuff. You start putting you put that much stuff in your stomach, it pushes stuff out.
Oh, I know, it's ridiculous. I'll ask you a question because I had a car question. I'll ask you that one. Have you ever been in a Ferrari or Lamborghini? And do you have a favorite car? And what do you drive? What do you drive now?
No, Porsche. I've never been in a Ferrari, Lamborghini. I got a truck in a car, but I'm a Jeep guy. I got a Jeep. I go rock crawling with it. It's off road. Mostly off road only for that thing.
You got those little Jeep ducks or no?
No. No one puts Jeep ducks on my Jeep.
my buddy's kid, Aaliyah, she has a Jeep, and I always fuck with her about the Jeep ducks.
Yeah, like, you got like a mall crawler or something like that with the Jeep ducks on there. Yeah, but mine's not. There's no ducks in it. It's an older one too. It's 85 and it's all jacked up and stuff.
Oh, so you put some money. Is those things? I mean, have you got a lot of additions to them? You've had since 85, so you probably rebuilt it a couple times, right? I mean,
there's hardly anything left that's original. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. I got a Kia too, Paul. I'm just not a car guy, dude. I'm not. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Once I retire, I'll probably hire a driver. That way I can just get fucked up all the time. I ain't got to worry about it.
The best car in the world is one you don't have to work on. I don't care what kind it is.
This is a good question right here. I'll estimate how many hot dogs per year you think you eat.
I don't know. It depends on the year. Anywhere between 500 and 900.
Well, I guess for a year, I mean, if you ate 2 hot dogs every day, it's about 500.
Well, no, just a couple months leading up to the contest, I'll eat 50 or 100 a week.
That's crazy, man. All right, what is your favorite airline you've ever been on? And do you have a least favorite airline?
Oh, that changes. I used to like JetBlue, and then they screwed me. And then I was on I get the cheapest ticket I can get. I'm all over the place. American was really good. They screwed me over too. There hasn't been an airline I don't think hasn't screwed me over. With delays and stuff like that. So
yeah, I wish there was some kind of standardization on airlines. I mean, it's back in I remember I don't remember, but I remember reading back in the 70s, 60s, and all that. It was all regulated, which I mean, more expensive airfares, I guess. But yeah, I think it's so frustrating when you're just like you're there. I'll get a story. I was supposed to go out of Jacksonville last year for the Browns. The Browns were playing the Jaguars down in Jacksonville. And I bought the plane ticket, bought the hotel, had the ticket and everything. And then out of nowhere, Frontier Airlines says, "Oh yeah, your flight's canceled." I'm like, just like that. There's nothing else. I tried to rebook. There's nothing. I mean, it's asinine. I think I still got a credit from that fucking canceled flight. Hell yeah, don't never buy the insurance on Expedia for the flights. Maybe for cars and shit like that, but not for flights because they won't honor it. They didn't honor the shit. I get a credit. I wanted my money back. I didn't want fucking $130 on Frontier. Where the fuck am I going to go on Frontier Airlines? It's asinine.
I remember sitting there for a couple hours one time waiting for the stewardess was stuck in traffic. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Like, she can't get here an hour ahead of time or something.
I was in the Air Force and there's some regulation about flight crew rest. Like you got to have 8 hours of sleep before you fly or some shit like that. And we would always have to delay missions for crew rest, man. Cause the Air Force treats those pilots and navigators like gold. Maybe seen Top Guns aren't Navy, but same concept applies, man. For some reason, pilots just get it. They're all these pretty boys and just get away with whatever the hell they want, man. It's ridiculous. It's asinine. Have you ever? Do you like the Caribbean? I can't talk, man. The weed cookie's kicking in. Do you like the Caribbean? And have you ever been to the Virgin Islands?
No, I haven't. No, actually, I think a friend of mine has a house in the Virgin Islands. He said I could probably stay there. If I wanted to go down, I could probably talk. It's been a while since I talked to him. But I know I've never been there. I haven't really done a lot of traveling just in the United States. And then I got to go to Japan there that one time.
Okay. We got a question from Iron Dog, my brother. What's going on? What were the size of the hot dogs? It's 82110. Do you prefer all beef or chicken and pork?
So I think the hot dogs that we eat are 57 grams. That's the exact size of Nathan hot dog, 57 grams. And the buns are 43 grams. So a hot dog and bun is 100 grams.
Okay.
So 10 hot dogs is a kilo, which is 2.2 pounds. So, if you're doing 50, it's over 10 pounds of just hot dogs and buns right there. And then what was the other part there? Favorite type of hot dog or?
Oh yeah. The chicken beef, the all beef or chicken beef and pork.
Oh, definitely all beef are better.
All beef. I'm all beef all day. I mean, I can't eat a chicken and pork one. It's not whatever, but yeah, man, there's nothing, in my opinion at least, there's nothing that beats grilled hot dog all beef. Because there's so many ways you could dress it up. I mean, that's a good question. When you're eating a hot dog recreationally, it's such a crazy way to say a question. But when you're not training, you're just having a hot dog at like a place. Do you have any toppings or anything you like putting on there?
Oh yeah, mustard, ketchup, relish, and onions.
Mustard. Okay, I usually put. It depends. I always get I put a piece of American cheese on there sometimes, and I'll put Stadium mustard and ketchup on there. Stadium mustard is brown mustard.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'll get just a hot dog with just nacho cheese and bacon. Because there's this Gecko up here. It's a gas station in this area. And they got like a food place attached to it. And you can get 2 hot dogs for like $3, but you can get like bacon and cheddar cheese on it for like an extra $1.50. It's a great deal. I really fuck with it. Ketchup doesn't go on a hot dog, he said. I mean, it depends. I mean, hot dogs like pizza, man. You can get anything you want on it. Same thing with the burger.
Want on there. Don't let anybody tell you.
Right. Whatever tastes good, put it on, man. Put it on there, shit.
The hot dogs in Rhode Island. I don't know if you ever have had a hot dog in Rhode Island.
I've been to Rhode Island. I have not had a hot dog there. No.
You gotta go to a place there and get it. They're called hot wieners though. They're not called hot dogs, and they put celery salt on them.
Okay.
So they
Okay.
have like a unique flavor. And at first they're like, oh man, these are really good. But after you eat a couple, you're like, oof, it's flavor fatigue sets in pretty quick.
Iron Dog, did you ever have anybody have a hot dog eating contest break out in front of your cart? That'd be awesome, right? You 3 guys. Have you ever tried mayo on a hot dog? That's a good one.
I never did. I think I'd try it.
I've had mayo on like bratwurst every now and then. I like mayonnaise. I do. I had some mayonnaise for lunch on the burger.
Yeah.
I had a patty melt. We had some hot lunch on there. Have you ever tried peanut butter and hot dogs? That's a weird
I
one.
tried that. When I was a kid, I used to go roofing all day. When not a kid, but in my early 20s. And then I come home and then I go to the gym, and then I would bale hay at night, and I didn't have a lot of time, so I'd eat peanut butter and steak sandwiches.
Peanut butter and steak. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I never really had like a manual labor job, man. Well, I guess maybe a little bit here or there with the service and food prep shit like that. I worked for a couple of restaurants, but yeah, I've been an office guy. I never really like manual labor. I like sitting around a lot more than I do running around, I guess. What are you? There's a good one. Who are the most 3 famous people you've met in your life?
There was one on The Sopranos. There was a guy. I guess his name was on The Sopranos. A big pussy. That was his.
Oh, nice.
He was at a pizza contest up in Canada. He's kind of a weird guy. He wouldn't break character. Like he just pretending he was a gangster the whole time, and it was just like it was just weird. Like, and Joey's pretty famous, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Who else is beside? Oh, The Undertaker.
Ah, okay. Okay. What was the premise you met the Undertaker at?
He was at a contest. He actually competed in the contest. He's mayor. He's a mayor down in Tennessee. There, I think Tennessee's and he came and he was in the contest.
Oh, you're talking about not the Undertaker. That's the
No, Kane. I'm talking.
Yeah, Glenn Jacobs, Mayor of Knoxville, I think.
Yeah,
Shit,
Knoxville. Kane. Yeah.
Okay.
He was a nice guy.
Yeah, I got a picture of me like when I used to have my hair. Like right now I'm bald, I got the beard, but like there's a picture of me I got on Facebook. I look just like Kane in a certain angle, man. It's kind of eerie. Almost not when he wore the mask, but when he did corporate Kane and did the bald thing. Because I got that really big that Vincent D'Onofrio. We both kind of got that same look almost, close beard and big imposing face kind of thing. So
I think he's reported to be like 7 feet. He's not 7 feet tall.
No, not even close. It's probably 6'6". Yeah, those guys used to wear the giant lifts and shit, right?
He's still a pretty big guy though.
Oh yeah. All right. What period of time would you like to live in that you haven't already lived in?
Well, there's lots of periods of time I haven't lived in. I don't know. I think it'd be kind of fun to be like cowboy times.
Wild West, 1880.
Yeah, less rules, man. There's so many rules. You can't even drive your car on the road without having to pay all this stuff and got to have a license. The cowboy time, you can do whatever the hell you wanted.
Just get on a horse and fucking camp and eat. It's funny, like the traditional cowboy Wild West thing. I mean, they would take I think it was from like Texas, they move it all the way up to Fort Dodge in Kansas. And that stereotypical thing we think about, I think that only existed for 10, 20 years. It was not a long time in history, like at least that, stereotypical cowboy stuff. So I don't know. I mean, I'd probably pick, I don't know, the late 70s always fascinated me. And I know I was alive then, but like, I'd really like to see Studio 54 and see all those, just that era when everybody was on drugs, bro. Like everybody was on drugs, right? Late 70s, everybody was smoking weed, behind drugs and shit is great.
The muscle cars in the 60s were kind of cool too. That would be kind of neat. Seeing all those muscle
cars. Right, before they switched out in the 70s and get all those, regulations and shit. That'd be badass. Oh, man. We do it. That's the thing. I would I'd like to have one of those cars, a badass power car, sure, but like I would probably destroy it, man. There's no way I get behind that thing and go right into a wall. Right? What? Speaking of cars, how long would it take you to parallel park a car?
I'd get it for a shop, mate, probably.
Yeah, it depends on the big thing.
I see out of the back. My car I got now, the Volkswagen there, I can't see out of the back. There's no camera. So I can't back that thing up with anything. I just can't see. But if I can see out of the back, I can do it pretty good.
I gotta say, I love that backup camera. I mean, that's the best feature they've ever put on cars. That's so handy. I mean, I could probably still do it, but like, I haven't driven a car without one of those in forever now. And it's like I'm so used to like just not even look. I even look at the mirror now. I just look at the camera because it tells you exactly where you gotta go. All right, who would you pick out of the Beatles or Queen? Those two bands.
I'd have to go with Queen.
Okay, good one. All right. What's something you haven't done yet that you sure you were going to do by the time you're 60? And what would be your advice for your future self?
By the time I'm 60, I got to retire before I'm 60, and I haven't done that yet.
So, where are you? Do you still teach now? Are you still working regular or no?
Yeah. I'm hoping 4 more years I can get out. I'm hoping.
Okay, so that works out good for the summer, right? Because you get the Nathans. I mean, you get the summers off, and then go to Nathans and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, it's we get out the end of June, and then July 4th, like right around the corner. So I don't get a lot of time, like free time before I can train for Nathan. So and then towards the end of the school year, it gets hectic. Okay. So it is a little bit of a hassle. Joey's the only one that doesn't have a full-time job, and so that kind of helps him. That's why he's so good.
Wow, that's kind of interesting to think about. It's only the top guy is the only one who does it full time. The rest are just as a hobby, pretty much, right?
Nobody else. Yeah, everybody else has a job.
Okay. Do you know? Well, I mean, you know her because I think you did a collab with her. But there's this girl, Katie from Seattle Eats. Do you remember Katie Perryman? I think her name is. Okay.
Met her lots of times. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she was. I haven't seen her in a couple years, but she used to come up on some of these panels every now and then.
Yeah,
it was funny. It was funny because I was looking at her hot dogs. The one contest, it was the same amount I ate. It made me laugh. But I'm 6'3", fucking 250. She's probably 5'2".
She likes. She's into the spicy challenges. She's a chili head.
Okay. Angie wants to know: do you have any celebrity crushes?
I don't know. There's got to be. I don't remember him as the thing, but when I remember that girl who played on Star Trek 7 of 9.
Oh, Jerry Ryan.
Yeah, I remember her when I was a kid. I used to.
Oh man, I haven't thought about her in years. She's got some cans on her, boy. I thought, man, I'm gonna have to go watch some old Boston Public reruns. That was a great. She was great.
That show too, yeah.
I totally forgot about Boston. I used to love Boston Public, man. Fivish Finkel and Jerry Ryan and the one big dude, the black guy, and then oh man, I have to go watch that again. That's great. Stifler. Underdog says Stifler's mom. What's her name? I can't remember. I know you're talking. I tried to get her on the show. She didn't return my email. That's crazy. All right. Jeff is still. Let's see here. Jeff, is Chris Folk? How do you pronounce that name? Is he still teaching?
No, he doesn't. He does not out of school anymore. He was. He moved up. He was I think he was either plumbing or HVAC teacher, and then he moved up to administration, and then I think he went somewhere else.
Okay, HVAC. That's funny, man. That was a career I flunked out of. Because I went to school. There was this school called Westside Institute of Technology. And it was like a building engineer program kind of thing. They give you like a semester of steam boilers, semester of air conditioning, shit like that, refrigeration. And I got this job up at the skating rink, and I was driving to Zamboni. And this is before I had glasses and the laser surgery, and I couldn't see the ice, and they just let me go. That was my 1 month foray into the trades. And after that, I went to college and became a bureaucrat. Outstanding. Well, do you have anything else to promote, and how do people get a hold of you?
I got a contest coming up this weekend. I got to fly to Vegas on Friday, and I got a contest there on Saturday. And that's the start of the season.
Okay, hell yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, man, we're gonna do a watch along for Nathan's, and we're gonna be rooting for you. And we'll hit you up we'll hit you up regardless and see what's up in the future. But
you're in Cincinnati?
I'm in Cleveland. Oh yeah, have you ever been to Cleveland? You ever go to contests up here or no?
Think if we've ever had any there. We must be something close. I remember flying in there. Definitely flew in there, but I'm not sure where the nearest come. We have contests all over the place, so we might this year. We could have one there very easily.
Well, I mean, in those contests, does a sponsor pay to fly you out? You got to do that out of pocket? How's that work?
No, you got to win money in order to pay for stuff.
Oh, so it's just like golf then. It's just like, everything.
Every now and then we'll get comped a hotel room or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
But
okay.
Yeah, you got to win money, but yeah. So it's a little rough if you're not good. You got to pay.
Yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbles, I guess, right? Thank you for coming out, Mr. Esper. Jeff, be sure to check out his YouTube channel. It's linked below, and you have a good one, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later.
Yep, bye.
All right, bye.